I've been finding myself kind of aimless in my gaming currently. I've gone from major release to major release without really feeling that fulfilled. And I follow certain creators that have been playing a lot of simulation games, specifically, the grocery store simulators and that whatnot. And I've tried them before, but I've always felt empty even playing those type of games. Yeah, they're really satisfying to play because you're doing a job, right? And any job for the most part is rather fulfilling, especially labor intensive jobs. I've worked many of them before, and I've kind of prefer working with my hands rather than sitting at a desk for that particular reason, because you do end up feeling fulfilled at the end of the shift. However, even those games did not fulfill me until InKONBINI, one store, many stories came about and filled that gap that I've been feeling. InKONBINI, one store, many stories tells the story of a quaint small town konbini, what convenience stores are called in Japan. It tells the story of not only you, a young woman named Makoto, working at a convenience store for a summer break that your aunt owns, but also the story of people in the community you serve. It mixes both the good parts, the fulfilling parts of a grocery store simulator. You stack shelves, you don't necessarily price the products, which was a little bit disappointing in my opinion. But you do have this sort of responsibility to keep the shelves stacked, even fixing some of the issues with displaying some of the products, cleaning up the store, checking out customers, doing some very simple math, but still math nonetheless. So it still has that aspect of those type of simulator games, but it also mixes a very nice and captivating and very charming story, which is what I believe a lot of these simulator games are missing. In essence, simulator games, specifically job-focused simulator games, don't necessarily need to have a story because they are just that. They just simulate the job. But adding a storyline to a simulator game just works. It just made so much sense when I started playing this game. And InKONBINI really filled that gap for me. I really did enjoy the charming and captivating story of you just being a college student, just trying to figure out what to do with your summers, what to do with your life, whenever you are at that certain age, when you're 18, 19, ready to tackle the world. You are kind of left with this decision of whether do I go full on to my education or do I just take a job and then make a career out of that. This game really puts you in those shoes, in that sort of particular time and place that many people across the world face, especially younger folks. I know I faced it when I was in college. I wanted to take a sabbatical, a 6-month sabbatical, and I didn't. And it's one of the only regrets I have in life because I went straight into college not knowing what I really wanted to do with life. It took me so many years of working odd jobs here and there, finishing college to truly understand what I really wanted to do out of life. And even then, I don't really know what I want out of life. And I feel that if I were to take in those 6 months at working at a convenience store, meeting people in my community, or being more engaged with my environment, would have got me to that realization a lot quicker. This game does a good job at telling that specific story. The characters as well are incredibly intriguing, and sometimes they're a bit spooky. And I won't spoil any of the story and any of the characters, but you essentially meet all kinds of characters in this game. You meet a little kid who has this entrepreneurial spirit. You meet this very spooky, kind of mysterious man, that you really don't know what he's really about, doesn't really speak in the game. And then you also meet people that know your aunt and are trying to reconnect with her and, trying to relive their younger days. And also younger people, young working adults, a reporter, a journalist, trying to write a story about your specific town, your small town, and telling the stories of that town. So you get to meet so many people from all walks of life, and it really did a good job at you connecting with these characters and really getting acquainted with them. I really grew to enjoy the conversations with these characters. I'm not really a novel type of person. Novel games, I don't like very text heavy games. I barely can tolerate Pokemon games, but the way this game was told, the way this game was written, really did captivate me, and it did a great job at telling a very simple yet very charming story. It's a game that also mechanically is very easy to pick up. Like I said, a lot of the mechanical stuff is the simulation part of the game, where you stock shelves with product, where you call up your supplier to bring you more products and whatnot. But it is a little rather confusing at first, because the game uses a sort of quote unquote kanji, which isn't, you are in Japan, but it's not actual kanji. It's a made up kanji, I would say. And a lot of the graphics and a lot of the product design in the game doesn't make a lot of sense if you're not used to like this very overstimulating packaging design that is very common in Japanese convenience stores. A lot of the products are very explosive, they're very busy. This year I had the opportunity to go to Japan for the first time, and even me going into being there physically in a convenience store, I was overwhelmed. It's just way too much. It's just all in your face, a lot of text, and it's really easy to get really overwhelmed. So I guess in a way this game does a job at showcasing that, and showcasing just how overwhelming a lot of these convenience stores can be. But once you get off that, you start picking up some of the products, and you start getting familiar with it. And it makes it so you also have to implement certain selling strategies. For example, the game kind of leads you on to place certain items at certain places that they might be on a discounted rack or whatever it may be. It really pushes you towards you making those decisions, and the characters sometimes will react to how you place these products throughout the store. It's very easy to pick up. It's really sort of liberating in that way, but this is also where I run into issues with this game, because it's rather limiting with the amount of people that come into your store. It's, spoiler alert, it's only a handful of customers that you ever see throughout the game, and they're all the same people, and it's all very narrative driven. So you're never going to be stocking shelves nonstop with 20 people in the store, everybody trying to buy things all at once. It's all very linear, and the game kind of runs on rails. It just brings you a customer, sometimes two, and you have to interact with them one after the other, but there's never that feeling of, oh, I'm falling behind on my work. Oh, I gotta stock the shelves. Oh, I'm running out of product. Let me call my supplier and get more things delivered, yada yada, which was rather disappointing. Yes, I enjoy a story, but at the same time, I was hoping that I would get more of that experience of a grocery store simulator, which is part of the reason why I got this game, why I saw it on the eShop, and I was very excited to check it out, because one of the major complaints that I have about simulator games is that they look very cheap in their art style. They look like college projects. No shade to college developers, but we can tell when someone doesn't have that skill to really design games. Maybe they do mechanically, but not so much on the art style side of things. So when I saw InKONBINI, the art style drew me into it. It's a very charming, very cutesy, pastel-y, sort of cel-shaded art style, and I'm a big fan of that art style. But when I started playing the game, I quickly realized this is not so much a simulator rather than just a linear narrative-driven story game. And that was a little disappointing in a way. I would have hoped that they would have found a good balance of still telling a story while not sacrificing that simulation part of the game, which makes all of these simulation games challenging in a way. Another of my issues is that the game is rather short. I beat this game, I want to say, in less than 10 hours. It's very linear. There's not a lot of deviation from the main story, so I kind of felt by the end of the game that there was more that I was missing, that there was more that they could have dragged out or they could have told within that story. I would have loved to run a day with my aunt in the store. I would have loved to meet some more new characters and make it, or kind of give us an after story game. something that, oh, okay, you decided to stay, oh, okay, you decided to go back to college, now you're playing as the ant, whatever that may be. I feel that that was a missed opportunity because the art style is amazing, it's very charming, the mechanics are there. You already had basically built a simulator game, just expand it a little bit more and make it, I don't know, you don't even have to expand a lot of these customer stories, but still meeting new characters and having conversations with them and still checking them out on the cashier and making it so, oh, it's a busy day, oh, there's a festival today, that's why we got so many people in the store, oh, come on, boom, boom, boom. This whole day is centered around making sure that you get through the day and you really sell all your top products or whatever it may be, you know, something outside of the story, because the story is already charming enough, but still there's not that hook. If you didn't really like the characters of the story, you're probably gonna put this game down after an hour or two. It's still a very good game, a very charming game, and I do recommend it if you want to kind of looking for a really more laid back, cozy type of simulation game, but do not expect a challenging grocery store simulation type of game, because it is anything but that. If you're just looking for something to read and kind of, I don't know, talk about life and understand and kind of reminisce on those days of when you were a freshly out of high school student trying to figure out what to do out of your life, then definitely check out InKONBINI, because it is a really good coming of age story game, but it's not a good simulation game by any means. But folks, you let me know if you played InKONBINI down in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Did you specifically get it because it was on the eShop and it was on sale, kind of like I did? I was kind of feeling very adventurous, and that's why I got this game. But I was rather surprised because I really did enjoy my time with this specific game. Again, I wish it was a little bit longer. I wish the simulation portion of the game was a little bit more entertaining and more engaging and a little bit more challenging. But overall, it is a really good bite-sized narrative game to enjoy. And again, it's only like $25, so I think it's more than worth it for the story that it tells and for the themes that it tackles. But let me know down in the comments below what you think of InKONBINI. But folks, I've been True Fernie. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because believe it or not, every single bit helps. Links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Blue Sky, where I spend most of my waking hours talking about anything and everything that might interest you as my viewer. But folks, please take care of one another, but most importantly, take care of yourself and your community. If you work at a store, get to know the people that come to your store. Build a community around that. Community is incredibly important today more than any time ever. Make an effort to meet the people in your community. Peace.